Ruffy, Geordie, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you, Kath, on the desk.
Missed you since Saturday night,
There you go.
Take us back to yesterday. What were you doing? Where were you when you find out Clarko's going, Sam Mitchell's taking over?
I think we're involved in the same text, the same text thread with someone else, and the question was, have you heard what's happening at Hawthorn at, I think it might have been 1 o'clock, and we had no idea, so you reach around to find out if anyone had any idea, and no one knew. So it was held tightly to the people that obviously went through the meeting and everything. But we were informed when everyone else was informed.
And your initial reaction was?
Yeah, a bit like everyone else. I didn't see it coming at all. I mean, I was in the rooms on Saturday night after the game for Shawnee's 400th, which was great. Everything seemed, normal, and then 12:30 yesterday, that the text comes through, and it's just like this happened quick and out of nowhere, really.
Do you think it's too soon?
It's only time will tell, and that's not a get out. But it wasn't the way that I thought it would happen. But clearly that other jobs were available, and Sam was either going to apply for them or maybe seek another opportunity somewhere else. So the board felt the need to make a quick call on it. And I think everyone that's departed Hawthorn, whether it be us two, whether it be Hodgie, whether it be Mitch as a player, everyone has gone out in the right way, which is rare for a club that's been so successful to have everyone exit the club without any controversy, anything that's happened, and I think they plan for this to happen the same way.
Do you think it's controversial, this?
Well, when you've got a coach that wants to continue to coach at a side that he's been at for 17 years, and the board go, no, we think we need to go in a different direction, that's a massive call. Massive call.
They've effectively sacked Alistair Clarkson.
Yeah, and I don't know, I think all organisations at some point need a bit of fresh air. And they've obviously thought the time is now, or when Alistair finishes his contract. And they've got to trust their decisions. And whether Sam is the right person for the job, only time will tell. You try and look at the new coaches that come into the system and what qualities they have. And he certainly ticks a lot of boxes. The most important thing that he needs to get right is the people around him, assistants, and the recruiting. That builds clubs for decades.
Has he always been a natural, we call them relationships, but has he always been a natural guy just to have chats with everyone? I mean, I always thought that Sam Mitchell from afar was a really determined, self-centred, do everything he can to win a game of football, and that was the Hawks. Am I wrong in that assessment?
No, I think early days, definitely, it was all about own performance. But then once Clarko got there and we were all, part of a culture, driving standards and whatnot, Mitch was the front runner of that. And you saw, what he was able to do week in, week out. He moved to half-back, he gets All-Australian. He had to sacrifice more than a lot. He gave up the captaincy basically 12 months after winning a premiership. He has evolved like a lot of people, really.
So I guess one of the main questions I've been hearing a lot today is what kind of man manager is he going to be? Is he going to be that type of coach where it's my way or the highway, brutal type coach, or will he be a bit more the modern day coaching of knowing that player needs a kiss and cuddle, that player needs a spray? What do you think?
Yeah, I've only seen the videos that you see at Box Hill and what Hawthorn have put out, and so far I think he's that one that's more of an understanding of how the players are these days, what needs to be said to them. But in saying that, when the time's right to challenge a person or to pull him off the ground, he does that. So, I think he'll be fine.
Have you spoken to Sam?
Just via text. I actually spent the day with his two daughters at the Werribee Zoo, and they were pumped up. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. People that played with him respect him highly. People that played against him would respect the way that he's gone about it. But he's a brutal person in a sense that he wants to get where he's going fast. So how does he temper that at a side where it's sort of rebuilding in a way, and how does he get people around him to help him?
Maybe that's his advantage, mate. He's so
I mean, he's got to...
want. That might be a really... describe him as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, if I was coached by him, I'd love it. Because that's my style of coaching.
Yeah,
if Ruffy was coached by him, he'd love it. The challenge at the moment would be when you get the new kids that come through now, and everyone knows how the new kids need to be coached, it's totally different. That might suit the way that he coaches.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating. I've been trying to come to grips with where I sit on it and how it all has unfolded, but I don't know.
What do you know of Clarkson and Mitchell? Can they survive 12 months together?
Yeah, I do.
No issue?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's funny, and I think it must be so hard to be a senior coach for a side and be so successful for 17 years, then to sort of check yourself and go, okay, well, the next year and a half is about how I set up this person in Sam Mitchell to then have the next period of success. And I think all my dealings with Alistair Clarkson would say that he would really welcome that challenge. Once the decision has been made and he's there, I think he'll hold Mitch's hand for the next 18 months and see how that unfolds. But I agree with what I think it was Hodgie said today. It does open the door up, though, to other possibilities. If he was to say, hey, I don't want to see out the next 18 months, I would rather go and coach my own side or coach another side, I think that'll be an amicable decision from he and the club.
So you have no doubts over the next 15 months that there are going to be any issues? It's going to get heated at times, and there'll be points where they're both confused.
Well, I think
but also Mitch is the coach of Box Hill, so he'll have his own issue going on down there as well. It's not like Mitch is a line coach at Hawthorn at the moment. He's got his own team that he's coaching, and he's got a development program that he's running as well. So in terms of the game plan and whatnot, Mitch may have a little say, but at the end of the day, he's still the coach of Box Hill.
When you finish playing like you two did, it must be quite crestfallen for you. It's over. Your career's over. Everything you've done has come to... You're now like the rest of us, former footballers. When Clarkson goes, how will you feel? Because that really is the end of your group. You know, I understand what I'm...
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose when we left, that was probably the feeling of it's over. Like I certainly don't cling on to the fact that Clarko's still there, so that still is my connection to the side. I've still got mates that play there. I suppose the thing that you'll have to digest, and it won't take long, that if he coaches another side, to watch that and hear him talk about that organisation and you know, hopefully become successful at another organisation, that would be hard to stomach.
It's now in the record books, really. The great Hawthorn era under Alistair Clarkson. 17 years, 18 years if he stays there. One of the truly great eras in the history of the game, and you guys were part of it.
Yeah, that's unreal. But we get a reunion every 5 years for the rest of our life too.
Every 5?
On average.
So when you've won 3 in a row...
8 and 13.
You can't have one like every year, every 10 years.
Why not?
I suppose the question, how do the media just go, this is a decision that's been made and that is that, or you know, you probably look at the next 18 months and go...
Well, Mick Malthouse has spoken to the Herald Sun. Mick Warner's done a piece with Mick tomorrow about the transition from him to Nathan Buckley, and he fears that there's going to be issues between Clarkson and Mitchell. Now, he knows Clarkson. I don't know if he knows Sam Mitchell very well. He knows the issues that Buckley and he had. Balls, whatever, strong-minded, and Mitchell and Clarkson are the same. And I just don't think everyone can expect that everything will be hunky-dory. I just don't think so, because Mitchell will want to have her ideas, and Clarkson at some stage, I'm sure that Mick said to Bucks, hey, I've got it. They're little things that come up in a coaching box on game day. I just don't think it can be smooth sailing. It's how you get over those issues. And I don't think Collingwood, Malthouse and Buckley got through those issues. Well, they didn't. They didn't for years. So that's a big one.
Take us into the mindset of the players at the moment. Some who have played with Sam Mitchell. What would you be thinking?
Well, I suppose the comforting fact is that you've got a good relationship with the person that's effectively going to make the decision on your career. I think, you know, some players, it's like any coach, I suppose. Some players would welcome it and some players, you know, mightn't like the decision. But as a player, no matter who is elected in that position, you have to get over the fact that are they right for you or are they not? And there'll be players in that team that may think, well, he's probably not the coach for me. How do I work around that? Every player in the league has to deal with that.
Certainly the older players do. I mean, some of those players you played premierships with, there's not many left. No. Who's left?
I think there's 5 players and maybe 1 or 2 that didn't get to play in the premierships. But Mitch is old enough, and these players, they'll have the conversations over the next 18 months and work out what's best for both.
Yeah, I think my overarching thoughts are I can't wait to see him coach, see how he goes, and I hope to God that he's successful.
How'd you be feeling if you're Sam Mitchell taking over from Clarko?
I think he understands the enormity of the job and how it's transpired. I mean, he's taking over from arguably the greatest coach that's ever coached.
I don't think that worries him.
No.
That's what,
It looks like it spurs him on.
It's his chance to be head coach. He'll do it his own way.
Yeah.